Supports Intensity Scale, Adult Version. What is a SIS-A Second Edition Summary Report? Presented by Public Consulting Group. A SIS-A Summary Report includes all the ratings and information collected during a SIS-A assessment. To become familiar with this report, there are 7 areas that we will cover. Understanding the SIS-A Summary Report, Primary Supports, Section 1, My Exceptional Medical and Behavioral Support Needs, Section 2, Support Needs for Life Activities, Support Needs Profile Graph, Summary, and Supplemental Questions. The report lists all of the ratings and results of the SIS-A Second Edition. The information on this slide will help understand the numerical part of the report. More details around the ratings and scoring will be discussed later in the presentation. We would like to first acknowledge that this is a sample report of fictitious individual. The information in this report is a sample only, and it is not intended to be used for comparing other individuals or to be used to pre-score your future assessment. The first page of the sample report includes a snapshot of high-level information discussed by the respondent team and interviewer at the time of the SIS-A assessment. This includes information captured at each of the life activities in Section 2 of the assessment, key supports that are important to the individual and important for the individual, and exceptional medical and behavioral support needs in Section 1. My Primary Supports is a snapshot of what was captured during the interview. These are supports that are a priority and matter to the individual or what the respondent team deemed important to and for the individual. The heart icon represents an activity that matters to the individual or that is important for the individual. The exclamation mark with a circle icon represents other priority supports and what is important for the individual. Later, the report will provide details of each activity. The next 2 slides will cover Section 1, My Exceptional Medical and Behavioral Supports Needs. We will use Section 1 rating key description for this section only. As you can see, a rating of 0 is for no support needed for the activity. A rating of 1 is that some support is needed, and a rating of 2 is extensive support is needed. In this example, Juniper's raw score for the medical section is a total of 4. Each item is summed to get the raw score of 4. For exceptional behavioral support needs, Juniper's raw score summed to a total of 5. Again here, we are only using the Section 1 rating key. The next section of this report is Section 2, Support Needs for Life Activities. This is the main part of the report. There are 7 life activities and the Section 2 rating key description. These 7 life activities include home living, community living, health and safety activities, lifelong learning activities, work activities, social activities, and advocacy activities. Each life activity is scored by the type of support, the frequency of support, and the daily support time. All of the ratings decided by the team during the SIS interview are listed for the 7 life activity domains. In these 7 sections, the total raw scores are the total number of points receiving in each subscale. Raw scores are then turned into standard scores. Later in this presentation, we will discuss how raw scores are then turned into standard scores. The next few slides will show the 7 life activities. In Juniper's case, for community life activities, for the type of support, frequency of support, and daily support time, Juniper's total raw score was 43 points. For health and safety activities for Juniper, for the type of support, frequency of support, and daily support time, Juniper's raw score was 40 points. For lifelong learning activities, for the type of support, frequency of support, and daily support time, Juniper's raw score was 48 points. For work activities, for the type of support, frequency of support, and daily support time, Juniper's raw score was 40 points. For social activities, for the type of support, frequency of support, and daily support time, Juniper's raw score was 38 points. And lastly, for Juniper's advocacy activities, her type of support, the frequency of support, and daily support time, the total raw score was 36. On this slide, the SIS-SAY Second Edition report also includes a support needs profile graph. It provides a visual snapshot of a person's support needs across the 7 life domains and a summary score called the Support Needs Index number. As previously mentioned, the raw scores are the total number of points received in each subscale of Section 2. The raw score is then changed into standard scores. The standard score provides a consistent system and formula by AAIDD for comparing raw scores from one person to another. The standard scores range from 1 to 20. A standard score of 10 is average and indicates that the individual needs an average amount of support in that area. A standard score above 10 are generally higher than average, and below 10 are considered lower than average. The percentile shows that percentage of the norm group scores are at or below a given standard score. For example, in Juniper's case, for community living activities, a score at the 25th percentile shows that Juniper's score is the same as or higher than the scores of 25% of the norm group and 75% of the norm group at a higher score. So in this area, Juniper would need lower than average support. However, in Juniper's home living activities, Juniper needs are greater here, and she needs average amount of support needs. The Support Needs Index number, SNI, shows an overall summary score. The higher the SNI number, the more support is needed. Lastly, the confidence interval of 95% relates to the assessment's accuracy and not to the individual's support needs. The summary page of the report includes demographic information for the individual being assessed, support providers, and respondent data. Finally, reports may include supplemental questions. Specifically in Vermont, Dell and other stakeholders have developed specific supplemental questions that are relative to the people of Vermont. Those questions are parenting, sleeping, and communication. And finally, this slide provides additional SIS-A resources, and we encourage you to visit these links. This concludes the presentation on how to understand a SIS-A.